G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a Juger pistol. I'm not actually sure if that's how you actually pronounce it, but we'll go with it. What you get here is a somewhat customizable standalone pistol type weapon with custom sounds and animations. Fairly unremarkable by itself. It's not a particularly recognizable weapon. I'm not sure where this is even from, but the main part about this mod is you can actually dual wield these things. And if you look down on the inventory thing, I've got Juger pistols here. So these are completely separate weapon forms, and the way you can actually turn two pistols into this dual pistol weapon form is you can go to a chemistry station. I've got one right there in the background. It's blurry, you can't see it. But you need to grab two of these Juger pistols, go to the Juger pistol sub-menu on your chemistry station, and craft the pistols variant. That S is very important. It means it's plural, which means there's more than one. In this case, two. You've got two hands, you hold one gun in each hand. It's pretty awesome. Now, there are some limitations to these. The animations aren't 100% great in third person, and if you fire them too fast, it's a little bit weird. We'll get into the functionality in just a second, but first we'll go over the attachments. So we've got the standard receiver on here, light frame, heavy frame, basically what you'd see on a 10mm pistol, except for the hair trigger advanced receiver. Usually the advanced receiver is a little bit quicker anyway, but we get a hair trigger variant of that, which allows us to have all of the extra damage of the advanced receiver, but it's got that extra rate of fire from the hair trigger. Very, very nice, very much needed, because we've got 120 damage on this, which is not a whole lot, especially since we're getting a 50% damage penalty from being on very hard difficulty. We can boost that up a little bit in terms of damage with Ace Operator when we attach a suppressor, so if we want to go around and sneak, then this will be a decent, I guess, attachment setup to do. And extended quick eject mag to increase our ammo capacity without sacrificing too much reload speed. And there's a couple of paints with this, and you can tell this is modeled off one of those Creation Club things, because a lot of the Creation Club paints do show up here. They do absolutely nothing, but you can have aluminium or aluminum anodized paint, brushed paint. You can go and have the bronze paint. There is also paint down here. There's clean paint, looks pretty decent. Copper paint, dirt paint, which you need a bag of fertilizer for. So, you know, if you want to cover your gun and shit, you can have dirt paint on it. And gold paint, which kind of looks funky. There we go, it looks more gold like that. Didn't look very gold where I had it before. That's totally possible, so if you want dual gold pistols, you can go ahead and do that. Let's just chuck the clean paint on with this, and a legendary slot is there if you need it. We might consider putting stuff on there if they underperform. So you've got the basic attachments set up the same as the things you had here, except there's no magazine attachment here because it goes with the, it goes basically where the muzzle goes. It's kind of interesting how they have done it. But it means there's slightly less attachment, I guess, versatility, or rather customization with the dual pistols, but that's okay because their functionality is well worth it. We'll go for steel paint. I'm pretty sure I saw that earlier. There we go. Very nice. So we'll just jump off the workbench now and start to show off these pistols, because I want to take a little bit of time before we start shooting stuff to really have a look at the animations. So you actually hold the weapon in one hand, which is kind of interesting because it's like we're missing half of the animations here. When you aim down sights, you know, that other hand's just doing nothing. And it fires this fast, and then the reload animation is like that. That's pretty stock standard. Let's move over to the akimbo one, to dual wielding. Now, if you try to spam the trigger with this, you'll only ever fire one of them. But if you're a little bit more patient with your shots, there's the reload animation, by the way. You actually fire both of them, and it consumes both of the ammo things per shot too. So that's pretty good. And when you bash with this weapon, you just kind of pistol whip them like that. And going back over to this one, it's pretty much the same. So the way they've done it is actually pretty good. The other limitations in third person is you kind of stand there like kind of chicken winging it, because it's meant to have like rifle animations. Even when you do aim down sights, you kind of hold these things weirdly. It's not perfect, but as far as dual wielding pistols go, this is the first of its kind, and they've done a good job here. So let's actually start shooting stuff now. Okay, so here we are back in regular old Gunner's Plaza. No immersive one on the interior today. That's what the Juger pistol looks like. It's of decent size. It's not too big to seem impractical, but not too small to see weak and pitiful, so that's pretty good. I've also got an unsuppressed ones for those of you who want to hear this thing unsuppressed, but for now we'll start off with this one. Now when we aim down sights, you'll notice that the recoil is basically non-existent, but since the gun sort of kicks in your face, it gets in your way when you aim down sights and shoot it. There's no recoil to speak of, or it's very little, but that's just something to consider. So probably just want to hip-fire this thing. The hip-fire is not too bad. We do have steady hands to increase its hip-fire accuracy though, so that's we should probably consider that. So we'll just kill that guy. He goes into a mess of giblets. We'll switch over to the dual pistols, which I forgot to reload. And I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but if you do aim down sights, all of the bullets will be transferred into this one, and yeah, you won't even fire that one in your left hand there, which is kind of interesting. But if we did fire this in a way that would get both, I guess both pistols firing, it's not terrible DPS, but you'd get better DPS if you were just to, you know, smash the mouse button one and just fire the one in your right hand. So, you know, that kind of sucks, but I'm thinking if NPCs use this, they will probably use it properly. So if you've got a follower, maybe you've got a Lara Croft follower person, maybe you've got my Captain Bridget follower and access to this mod, I reckon she might appreciate using dual pistols. Just keep in mind that the animations are kind of weird. There's a lot of chicken wing going on here. But these animations could be fixed, and perhaps it's not even supposed to be like that. Maybe it's like a install error on my part, but it's not really enough to detract from the experience, because the mere functionality of this, I think, is quite cool enough to merit this thing being a decent mod on its own, to be honest. Nice one. Cheeky little headshot for 700 damage. Pop a reload whilst we aren't getting pushed, and we'll quickly just stealth gunslinger these guys. Well, that's pretty good, isn't it? Let's move over to the loud and proud one. Now, I do have the Furious Legendary effect on this if we happen to, you know, get poor damage against big old boss things. Well, we can slowly get better and better damage as we go along. Now, unfortunately, there's no automatic variants of this. It'd be cool if you could have, like, dual Glocks in this game. I reckon that'd be kind of cool. If a little bit silly, but, you know, there are stranger things in Fallout, both in canon and in modding. So, I don't think it would be unappreciated. Anyways, we'll just take out the rest of these guys and make sure we carry over that Furious bonus to the next guy. Kinda didn't there. You can actually do that. I'd reference it as like no-kill, like overkill from Borderlands 2 Salvador. If you stack a whole lot of Furious damage, it can carry over to your next target, provided that you don't whiff the next shot, or you gotta do it quick enough, but it's something you can do. It's kind of interesting. It doesn't cap out your Furious damage either, and it stacks 15% at a time, unlike Fallout 76's cap at like 45 or 50, and the stacking of 5% at a time. Now, you might think she's mad for wearing all white. It's snow camo, right? But it's more of a psychological thing. It's biblical, like the white horse of death, you know? Just playing the mind games with the NPCs today. Okay, let's go and kill Big Boy Swan. First off, we'll start by shooting his explosive friend. Now, you'd think being, you know, in the dark here and wearing completely white, it will be detrimental to my sneak chance, but that's okay. I'm fairly certain that super mutant dudes like this, they see in like a grayscale, so it's all good. But if shit hits the fan, we'll pull out the Furious one and do it as cheaply as possible. But for now, I think we'll just go over to the dual pistols, because we get slightly better capacity, and just shoot them like this. Good thing about pistols is they're pretty silent. Generally, they're pretty good on AP, and I realize I haven't shown this off in VATS yet, so why not start here? That's interesting. I'm getting a way more damage in that. Maybe because I was actually hitting the head. See, when he's got his little shield raised over his head, well, I can't actually shoot him in the head. But with the Penetrator perk in VATS, it's in Perception. It's one of the ones that is really far down there that, you know, if you want to get that at the start of the game, then you're going to have to sacrifice something else. But it's a game changer. There's a lot of perks in this game which allow you to play in so many different ways. Look, I don't want to start repeating what Many a True Nerd said in his Fallout 4 is better than you think, but, you know, it's got me thinking about those kind of perks, that mindset, compared to what cards we got on Fallout 76. It's just a lot better to level up in this game. Oh, look at that giant silhouette in the distance. And, oh, there's the drawing animation, by the way. That's awesome. Good stuff there. And I kind of want to get more of this VATS action in, so, you know, as the Radstorm continues to rage around, let's just shoot this guy in the face. Now, if he comes closer, he's going to get himself into a world of hurt. There we go. That's the kind of damage you want. Sneak attack criticals at 4.4 times, mixed with headshots. Yeah, this thing is definitely good for a VATS stealth person. We might get into trouble here. Never mind, we are all good. So you can easily get things done with a suppressor, and it looks like the white clothing hasn't hindered our stealth whatsoever. So the next one, we might bother just to use that. Fine, I'm going to shoot you with a critical. Little bastard. It's so hard to hit. Hang on. Yeah, just hip fire this thing. I'm not too keen on the aiming down sights and firing animations. Be quiet, Snapchat, I'm recording. Right now, I'm going to sound like a normie using Snapchat. Ah, yes, vampiric blood bugs. I wasn't paying them any mind because these are the level scaling bastards in this game, actually. Be aware of that. Masters of Guerrilla Tactics. He's actually flown out of range as my VATS. Fine, the whole entire video will be derailed by this guy. Thanks a lot, Bloodbug. You're getting a critical to the face. Well, it was satisfying at least. Let's move on. Okay, phone has been dropped onto the floor. Let's do this as unsubtly as possible. Now, these are basic raiders, so we shouldn't have too much trouble with them. They're picking up guns, probably because I've killed their fallen comrades from before. Or rather, their spawns are just a little bit dodgy. Wow, really? Alright, so yeah, these are really basic dudes compared to the gunners, so no problems here. But, you know, we've got bigger prey down the road just there. We'll take a walk on the beach. Oh my god, did I just hit that guy for 5.8 million damage? What a ridiculous perk. And I can't be bothered aiming anymore. There we go. That's how you do it. And you are taking cover, so you can go away. And you, my friend, will give you a nice 45 ACP sandwich. Only the courier could... Wait, no, he was shot with a... The courier was shot with a 9mm. See, he should have bought something that isn't, you know, completely piss weak. Alright, let's go. Let's stack some furious damage on this Mirelurker Queen. No one's impressed about killing Mirelurker Queens when I just took a, you know, a 30,000 point health swan out. But anyways, we've got the Mirelurker Killclaw Overlord, and I'm going to shoot him in VATS and see what we can do. There we go. See how high we can stack this damage before it, you know, kills him. Looks like we've lost the damage we've stacked, which is a kind of interesting. Did you see that Mirelurk Hunter just hucked a loogie all the way from there, and if I hadn't moved, that wouldn't have hit me. That is some accuracy. Props to that stupid lobster man. There we go. We're almost hitting that 1,000 damage we got before. Just got to keep on stacking that. Every time he goes to attack me, he gets staggered out of it. This is a very poor Mirelurk combatant. Oh, you limiter bash there? Maybe. I thought it was infinitely stacking, but it seems like we hit the same number twice there. Maybe it isn't. I don't think it matters, because what you can find in the vanilla game won't be able to, you know, stack that much damage on. Even Liberty Prime, who's completely invincible, you know, you can't physically do damage to him. Speaking of Prime, that's where he's sitting under the Pridwin. Man, I miss Fallout 4. Anyways, so that's the Juger pistols, and I can't... Hang on. There we go. If you want to see this thing in your game, check out the link in the description. I highly recommend downloading this mod if you're looking for something new, because, well, we haven't seen dual pistols before, and, well, now that the concept is out there, people can reverse engineer it, perhaps improve it, and maybe we could see dual revolvers out there, dual rifles maybe. You know, time will tell. If the modding scene is up for it, we might see more content like this very soon. And I kind of hope we do, because this has been a fun weapon to use. Link in the description if you want it. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope there's a console port too.